Hello, fellow aviators. Welcome back to Aliongo Aerosphere, your hub for African aviation insights. From technology and market trends to careers and investment opportunities, join us in exploring the future of African skies. Now, 15 years ago, I boarded an aircraft for the very first time. Growing up in Africa, the most exciting ride I had ever known was a matatu, colorful and chaotic public transport vehicles in Kenya. Back then, I didn't even know how to go about buying an air ticket. A travel agency had to guide me. Give us $600 for your one-way ticket to Europe, they said. And just like that, I handed over the money, clueless about what exactly I was paying for. Sounds familiar? You see, have you ever tried booking a flight to Africa and thought, why is this so expensive? Whether you are flying from New York to Accra, Paris to Nairobi, or even Lagos to Johannesburg, ticket prices are often outrageously high. Even within Africa, things aren't much better. A flight from Lagos to Johannesburg can cost more than a flight to Dubai. But why? And more importantly, how will SAATM change that? Well, let's break it down. So, why flying to Africa is so expensive? Number one, we are seeing limited competition and government restrictions. One of the biggest reasons for high prices is that many African governments protect their national airlines, limiting competition. Instead of allowing multiple airlines to compete, some countries restrict foreign and even regional carriers. Now, for example, Ethiopian Airlines, Kenya Airways, and Rwanda Air, they dominate Eastern Central Africa. Meanwhile, South African Airways and Airlink control key routes in Southern Africa. But because competition is limited, prices stay high. Number two, high airport taxes and fees. African governments charge some of the highest airport taxes in the world. In fact, some cases, 40% of your ticket price is just taxes. For example, Julius Nyerere International Airport, that's in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, charges around $50 in taxes per passenger, while London Heathrow charges around, well, $25. That means even before the airline adds its own costs, African flights are already more expensive, right? Number three, there's just connecting flights through other continents. This is something that's changing in the past 10 years with the introduction of SATM. But yes, it's another reason flights are so expensive. Bad connectivity. Many African cities aren't connected directly, forcing passengers to transit through Europe, the Middle East, or even the US. For example, flying from Lagos to Nairobi in the recent past, you had to often stop in Istanbul or Paris. Today, if you want to travel from Asmara, the capital of Eritrea, to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, you have to stop in Saudi Arabia. Now, this adds more miles, extra costs, and hours of wasted time. Number four, fuel and operational costs. Aviation fuel in Africa is 30 to 50% more expensive than in Europe or Asia. That's because of limited refining capacity and high import taxes. Airlines pass these costs to passengers, to you, of course, making fares even higher. So, what's the solution? You see, the single African air transport market, or SATM, how will it actually change where you pay for flights in Africa? So number one is looking at more airlines, more competition equals lower prices. So SATM is going to allow more airlines to operate freely, increasing competition. That means airlines like Air Peace from Nigeria or Fly Safari from South Africa can launch routes without unnecessary government restrictions, bringing ticket prices down. We're going to see direct flights. So instead of forcing passengers to transit through Europe, SATM will allow airlines to fly directly between African cities, cutting costs and making travel more efficient. Reduce taxes and fees. As SATM progresses, governments are expected to reduce excessive aviation taxes, making flights more affordable for both tourists and business travelers. Airlines can expand without restrictions. Right now, smaller African airlines struggle to expand beyond their home countries. With SATM, airlines like FastJet and Uganda Airlines can freely open new routes, making flights cheaper and more affordable, or more available as well. So, what does this mean to you? If SAATM is fully implemented, flying to Africa could be as easy and affordable as flying within Europe. It means cheaper tickets, more direct flights, and better connections. No more necessary stopovers in Paris, Istanbul, Dubai, just to get from one African country to another. You see, SATAM is Africa's aviation revolution in the making. But will governments fully commit to making flights cheaper? Or will politics slow things down? This is our constant question. And a question for you: will SATAM really change the cost of flights to Africa? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And if you found this video insightful, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more aviation content from Aliongo Aerosphere. Thank you for watching. Kwaheri kwa leo. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.